Sorry, I'm gonna leave. I'm driving so.
Hi, I'm Aezelle Garcia from BE Ed 1A, and here's how I understand the communication process. First of all, what is communication? Communication is very important because without it, we cannot actually attain success or we cannot actually attain our goals because it is our tool to learning. Communication comes from Latin word communicare, which means to share. Now, communication is a whole process in order to express our thoughts or ideas with someone. There are 6 types of communication: oral, interpersonal, non-verbal, written, visual, and listening. Oral includes any spoken speech, and interpersonal involves verbal and non-verbal communication. Non-verbal is physical expression, and written is the use of letters and symbols to share information. For further understanding about communication, please watch this video.
And in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, what this organization really needs is a one-on-one approach. Easily. Actually, what this organization really needs is repositioning. That means that what this organization desperately needs is change. Easily.
Ganyan ang mangyayari kapag hindi nakikinig or hindi iniintindi ng receiver ang sinasabi ng sender. While on the other hand, may mga words talaga na pare-pareho ng spellings pero iba-iba ng meaning. That's why we need to comprehend more. Minsan nami-misinterpret ng mga receiver or ng mga tao ang speaker, lalong-lalo na kapag yung emotion natin is hindi natin gaanong ma-control. And balik tayo sa topic. The sender first develops idea, which is composed into a message, then transfers into the receiver. From sender, formulates message, use a transmission, and then from to recipient and to a receiver. The sender is the one who has something to tell, or she will give that message to the receiver through a channel, and that channel can be face-to-face. The sender is the one transmitting and formulating the ideas. The sender's experience, attitudes, knowledge, skills, perceptions, and cultures influence the message. For example, a speaker delivering a presentation to an audience. Next is the message. The message is the core content of communication. It refers to the information that the sender is relaying to the receiver. And there are 3 purposes of message: to inform, to persuade, or goodwill. The message is the verbal or non-verbal content being conveyed from a sender to receiver. For example, when you say hello to your friend, you are sending a message of greeting that will receive by your friend. The transmission model of communications describe communication as one way. Transmission means sending some information or data from one place to another but only transmitting. Whereas, at the receiving end, we cannot be sure whether it is received or not. Think of text messaging, for example. It is well suited for describing the act of text messaging, since the sender isn't sure that the meaning was effectively conveyed or that the message was received at all. Next is the recipient. A recipient is someone or something that receives or is intended to receive something and must translate the words into thought. The recipient is the one who receives the letter, package, or email, whatever was sent to them. Next is the receiver. The receiver is the individual or group who receives and interprets the message. Huwag po kayong malito sa recipient and receiver, but I do. A receiver generally refers to a person or entity that is on the receiving end of something, such as information, a transmission, or a physical object. It can refer to someone who is receiving signal, a message, or any form of communication. A recipient typically refers to someone who receives something, such as gift, an award, or a message. It often implies a more personal or emotional connection, emphasizing the act of receiving something intended for the person's benefit or use. On the other hand, ang receiver ang tumatanggap ng kahit anong impormasyon mula sa sender na nagiging dahilan ng komunikasyon. Samantala, ang recipient naman ay tumatanggap rin, ngunit ang intensyon ng mga recipient ay magamit or makabenefit sila sa kanilang mga natanggap. Katulad na lamang, halimbawa, ikaw ay nakatanggap ng scholarship, ito ay magagamit mo upang kabawasan sa mga babayaran sa eskwelahan. Next is feedback. The reaction or response of the receiver is called feedback, and it is called two-way communication. If we take a look back to our topic on oral communication, when we was grade 11, we've learned about one-way and two-way communication. But as we go further, the sender formulates an ideas and transmit into a receiver a response from the receiver, which gives the communicator an idea of how the message is being received, whether it needs to be modified. Next, communication clearly defines a sending and receiving message. And this is the example. As you can see, the sender transmits a message to a receiver, and the receiver gives feedback to a sender, which become a receiver as well. Basically, the sender becomes a receiver too, and the receiver becomes a sender. And I hope you've learned a lot in this discussion. Thank you for listening.